Today, it's the National Football League. It's Week 8 of the NFL on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Miami Dolphins and the Baltimore Ravens. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded right at the goal line. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
And I think if you ask most folks to give you their first half MVP, very likely they're going to say it's this man right here. The NFL's leader in touchdown passes to this point in the season. Still 2 months to go. But if he can keep going to the pace he's at, this is going to be a dangerous team come January, and he could very well walk away with the MVP.
Ward on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. Touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Dolphins are going to take a first quarter lead. On paper coming in, you'd say that these guys are the better team by far, and they sort of showed their superiority there on the opening drive.
Yeah, they came in the heavy favorite in this game, and even though they're on the road, they just wiped it away, didn't they? They've just said to everyone, we're the better team. We just showed it to you on this opening drive, and we expect to do it all game long.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. So here are the Ravens now as they get set for their opening possession. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away because they have a lot of confidence in their talent, too. They just saw a big strike against their team, and you know they're thinking to themselves, I can get this back right now on one play. Well, if it's there, you take it, but otherwise, just go ahead and calm your team down. Run the offense, get things going, and see how things settle in.
He finds his man, complete. It's Curry. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 6 catches, 69 yards.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And taken right on the 30. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. So Miami coming out for their second drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
Now Ward on 1st and 10. Going deep for Hopkins. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Dolphins. A great play there with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Dolphins strike quickly here for 6 points. Not even 2 minutes into this football game, already we've had 2 scores.
You know how much I like to read about teams of old, right? The teams of yesteryear. There were some teams that were known as the point-a-minute teams. Well, obviously in a 60-minute game, that's 60-plus points. But 2 touchdowns in the first 2 minutes? My calculator doesn't operate that well.
And now on the other side, they better wake up. They haven't even gotten off the bus yet. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He finds his man, complete. That's Phillips. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Oh, I see you nodding your head along with me, partner, because it's pretty obvious what they were trying to do there on the drag route. With his speed, they're hoping he can turn the corner and maybe take this to the house. But that was excellent work defensively to make sure one...
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Ward now, throwing on 1st down. Throw left side complete. That's Mitchell. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. So a nice catch right there. And this receiving core, without their number 1 wideout, keep that in mind. He's inactive this week, though it shouldn't be a long-term absence.
And I would think, partner, that this is where an offensive coordinator believes he can solve the problem by spreading the ball around. Because anytime you lose your number 1 guy, it's obviously a blow to your offense. But it's also an opportunity to say, hey, they can't focus.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. What a first quarter. Boom, you're up 3 scores just like that, and the offense clicking.
And they're thinking to themselves, we can totally overwhelm this team. Now flip it over. They're going to get the ball back.
Yeah.
Can't panic here. Talk to yourselves 1 play at a time to try and get back in.
And that's cliche, but really that's the message. This is still very early on in the game. We're in the first quarter.
If you look at it as down 20, then you almost have no shot.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. 2nd and 13. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 12, and he'll be down at the 6-yard line. Such a costly interception, nearly a pick six, but now they're so close they are knocking on the door for a touchdown.
And I never want to get on any team for being aggressive because that's part of what their makeup is, and oftentimes it's successful. But in this case, you've got to be selective about it and make sure you take care of the football. That interception almost cost them 6 points. Now their defense has to run onto the field.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. With his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. The offense for the Ravens returns to the field. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. 2nd down and 7. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8. And maybe more later on.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now back to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Phillips. 7 yards, the pickup there. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going.
And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off at the 46, and the return stops at the 39-yard line. 3 first-half interceptions now, and Charles, you'd have to think a fair amount of concern is developing over there on that sideline.
And there should be, because essentially he's been a little loose and possibly reckless with the football here in the first half. Now, maybe it's not all on him, but still 3 interceptions. That puts the entire team in jeopardy. So the play caller from here on out got to design some throws for him that he can complete, keep it away from the defense, and try and get him back on track.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. So this game, Charles, you know, we talk about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that, and by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know that funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
On first down, it's Turner. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. The yardage numbers for him just keep piling up for his career. He's now toppled, Charles, the 11,000-yard mark.
And just think about that. For most NFL running backs in their career, it feels like if they get to 1,000 yards, they've had a nice little run. He's over 11,000 yards, probably beyond his wildest dreams.
They run the counter now on first down. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. Touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Dolphins open the lead up to 34-0. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone? We saw evidence of that on that play.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes this 35-0 now. So plenty of fireworks here early. 35-0 now as the kick is away. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big this early, but that's the spot they're in as they come up to try again here. They'll run on first down. Linton. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 38. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decisions. You have to know your quarterback and know if he's mentally tough enough to have a chance to turn it around. Or is he a guy that maybe you've seen enough and it's time to go to the backup? But right now what you're rooting for is your defense to help keep you in the game, to give him an opportunity to get back on track. That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
This defense porous so far in this first quarter. They face another first, and he is in. Touchdown, Miami. It's the fullback, hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins have taken a 6-touchdown lead. And when the smaller guy can't power it across the goal line, Charles, sometimes you need to go with a fullback. They did. It worked.
What's that thing about force and mass? How's that?
Oh, yeah. Force equals mass times acceleration.
Oh, that's big-time stuff. That's from the same guy the apple dropped on his head, right?
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll punt it away for the second time. That's pulled in at the 32. 35 yards that time on the punt, and it'll be Dolphin football. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They've got the lead right now, and remember, they are riding that very impressive 7-game winning streak, trying to push it to 8. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 at the 40. Throwing to start the drive. Moore going deep for Hopkins. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. It's a big play there for Miami.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attack. Play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
This defense porous so far in this first quarter. They face another 1st and goal. They run the counter. It's Turner. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you're
without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
Second and goal from inside the 5. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control.
Could not block that one any better. Everyone was accounted for, and a great surge by the offensive line.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They'll drop to throw. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. And that is incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
And out come the Dolphins now. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, It's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. To throw is Ward. On first down, going deep for Hopkins. A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. A big play there for the Dolphins.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35.
Crunch. Slam. Watch out.
Operating from the gun. Ward. Looking left side, and it's complete. Touchdown. A great effort there, with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Dolphins continue to pull away here in this first half. Boy, I mean, at this point, what more do we say here? I got nothing.
And you know, so many people talk all the time about having announcer-less games, and they want that. This could be a candidate for it, because if we stay here and do this, we're going to have a lot to fill in the second half.
There's still another half. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Pretty clean and simple there, just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He struggled. His team has struggled. You talk to me a lot about looking to your leaders. Maybe it's time for him to put his mark on this game.
Agreed, and how that has to happen is somehow he's got to flush out everything that's happened so far and almost start over and get back to that confident level and know that he can play the game, because so far this has been a real struggle.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the interceptions, trying to turn it around. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Back to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Underwood. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Why are you on him instead of you? Why don't change that?
Field. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 45. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ballgame.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
Here's Ward. On 1st and 10, going deep for Hopkins. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
You said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. Extra point splits the uprights, and the route is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. I think this crowd not really sure what to make of things. You know, their guys have not looked very good. Their leader here at the top, he hasn't looked that great either.
And most of the time you hear guys talk about how they don't let the crowd affect them or they block it off. Well, that's not really fully true, because a lot of the times you ride the wave of emotion with a crowd when it's positive for you. In this case, they've got to find a way to shake it off and at least get something done to maybe...
And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 38. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And they gave up the pick six, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off near the 44. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. On first down, Turner. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 46 yards on the ground for him so far. That time a little misdirection really seemed to fool. The defense.
And think of it this way. From the time you're in high school, you're taught to watch film and pick up tendencies. Sometimes they can use those against you, though, when they break their own tendencies and hit you back the opposite direction, huh?
And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. It's the fullback with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
Let's make these babies cry.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He finds his man complete. It's Curry. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Back to throw again. He finds his man complete. That's Curry. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 48-yard line. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Ward going deep for Hopkins. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great play there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. So from back deep in their own territory all the way into the end zone, you think they expected to score on that one?
I'm not sure they expected to score, but they also showed that they're not averse to taking a little bit of a risk there, right? Taking a chance because the normal call is take care of the football, run it, be safe. Instead, they put it in the air and took a gamble, and it paid off in a big way. That wasn't an analytics call. That wasn't a fantasy guy's call. That was like a video game call right there.
It was a little bit of a video game call, but it worked. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way. I like the look that they just showed there. When you come out in a passing formation, spread things out a little bit, makes it really hard to cover the middle of the field, doesn't it? Because you've got to go out to the perimeter and cover those guys.
Yep, exactly. Got some good blocking, too. Helped him pick up the first. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, partner, I don't think it's any secret that any running back wants to be able to see a hole open so that he can gallop through it. But in this case, he had to slow down. There was really no hole there, and he took a big hit in order to get that 1 yard.
So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
He finds his man complete. That's Phillips. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man. Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. He finds his man complete. That's Curry. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. He'll look to throw. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. So 2 3rd down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down. Now the Ravens bring out the field goal unit here. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime. Something to build on, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? But wave the flag. That's good. Got points. And now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals.
Watch twist, watch twist. Check 26, check 26. Watch twist.
Ward throwing on first down. He's going to look deep down the field. And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Double up. He's coming, double up. Check 52. Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, Ward. He finds his man, complete. That's Schmidt. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Ward. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
2nd and 10.
To throw again, Ward. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen.
And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
The Ravens going to get one more drive here in this first half. And we'll see how they want to play this. Just a little over 20 seconds to go.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the league here in the unofficial midway point, Week 8 of the NFL season. We'll get started up in Foxborough, a rematch of a great AFC title game from January of 2018. Jacksonville in town to take on New England. And it's the Jaguars who are out in front. The Jaguars still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting LA Rams. The Bears looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Finally, we're out to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And it's the visiting Jets who have the lead in that one. Marshall Faulk with a touchdown run. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the third quarter. And we will not see a return to start the half, as this will be a touchback. The Raven offense set to start this third quarter, and they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half, so where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely, but you still have to go out, take pride.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
Well, I think that time he just maybe held on to it a little too long, CD, because after a couple of seconds in this league, you know those defenders are coming.
And how many times do we talk about complementary football? And we're usually talking about, does the offense help the defense? Does the defense help the offense? I think in this case, does the quarterback help out his offensive line? You only have a certain amount of time to get rid of the football. They can only do so much. On this play, he took them to the limits.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And now here's another interception. Picked off at the 19, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. And now here come the Ravens. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here.
7 yards, the pickup there. 2nd down and 3.
He'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
They'll run on first down. Linton, and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Underwood. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
They go play action here on first down. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
Well, they sent him on the blitz from that linebacker spot, and boy, he got there quickly.
He certainly did, and obviously he could have used a block from his running back, but I think you nailed it right there. The defender got into the backfield so fast, it's hard for anyone to react.
Looking to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a 1st down.
The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
That
by the time we have to leave the booth.
59 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on 1st down, exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Eight yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now a handoff here to his running back. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They run the counter. Turner, nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
That's a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. And to give this time to the tailback. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Pick me up. Here we go. Mike 17. Mike 17. Here we go. Here we go. Let's go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line.
46 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times.
A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound.
Come get some. Come get some.
They'll try to run this one in. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Dolphins add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback.
Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one, because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. They're going to look to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
It's fielded at the 45. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Now a handoff here to his running back. And some space here. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
44 yards rushing for him now to this point.
I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. A handoff as they run the counter play. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. 1st down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on 1st down puts them back on their heels.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line.
But we always talk about good down and allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
17's Mike. Mike 17. Hey, tight down.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Check 99. Check 99.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Dolphins are poised to move to 8-0 as they extend their lead even further. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And
And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. After some early struggles running the ball, they've really picked it up. Early it just seemed like there were no holes there. Now all of a sudden the holes seem to be there. I don't know if that's just my imagination.
And give them credit that they kept their confidence, because sometimes when you get stuffed big in the running game early, especially for an entire half, it really makes you retreat a little bit, but not this group. They always have the confidence that they just get their assignments down, they get in sync with their runners, and off they went.
Second down and inches. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game, because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Back to throw now on first down. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Back to throw here. He finds his man, complete. That's Underwood. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. They'll set up to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Underwood. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a fourth down. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on here to punt it away. This is taken at the 15. Oh, I nearly broke that one. As it stands, though, a heck of a 36-yard run back. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. On first down, Turner. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves them with third down and just a yard to go. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering whether they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
And that was a good collision right there. And I know this as a former defender. If you're playing linebacker, you're going through a checklist on every play on who you think's going to get the ball, where you think the ball's going to go. Rarely do you expect the fullback position to get it, and on that play he did, so you got to steel yourself at that point because the contact is going to be strong. Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. They've gotten it to the 1. Can they get that final yard here on 3rd and goal? And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Now the try here for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Dolphins,
they continue to cruise as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign.
And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, the struggles intensify as they drop to 2-6 now on the year. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.